One of the biggest myths in marketing is that leads go cold. I don't actually believe that's true. Most leads don't wake up one morning and decide that they're not interested. What actually happens is simpler. Life gets busy, attention shifts, urgency fades, and your business disappears from their world. Today, I'll show you why leads really go cold and the exact steps that we use to keep prospects moving towards becoming clients. If you ever said the lead ghosted me, or they stopped replying, or never booked, this video's for you. Alright, let's talk about why leads go cold. Here it starts with lead, then become interested, then through time, then doubt comes in, then lost certainty, and then silent. You see, most experts assume no response means no interest. But here's what they miss. Interest isn't permanent. It's temporary. The moment someone opts in, there's momentum. They're thinking about the problem, they're imagining the solution, and they're looking for a way forward. They're asking help right here. Help, help. Again, interest isn't permanent. It's just a temporary thing. And every day that passes, the emotional momentum dies. Not because the problem disappeared, it's because their life got louder. Again, right now, in that moment, they're thinking about the problem right here. They're imagining the solution, they're looking for a way forward, and that's your shot. And that's when they really want to hear from you. But most businesses, they just blame the lead. Here's what they do. Lead doesn't reply in 48 hours? Oh, they're not serious. No, it's just your fault wasn't serious. You just sent one email, just one, and you're expecting them to drop everything to hand you money. So they didn't ghost you. Your system ghosted them instead. Your system right here, and then that's when they ghosted because they're not getting hit up. Yeah, so they slowly drift away because nothing is pulling them back. Because nothing reminded them why they raised their hand in the first place. Nothing reinforced their decision, and nothing reduced their uncertainty. So they moved on, not because they chose someone else, but because your business just stopped showing up. So leads don't go cold because they're bad leads. They go cold because certainty wasn't maintained. The lead was fine, but your system was just broken. So literally, that's the whole game. You just have to keep certainty alive and leads stay warm. If you let it die, then no amount of leads will ever save you. So the question isn't, how do I generate more leads? The question is, how do I keep the belief alive long enough for the buyer to act? Because this is where the sell actually happens, but it's not in the ad and it's not in the opt-in, but it's in the follow-up. In the silence, we're in the space where the most business disappear. So if you could answer that, then everything changes. If you ignore it, you're just gonna be burning more money on ads that feed a broken machine. Alright, now we move to the certainty decay curve. Here we talk about the no system. It goes from interest, questions, doubt, distraction, and then they're gone. But then the authority system, it goes questions, interest, email, case study, build certainty, and then they book the call. But the moment someone opts in, they don't stop thinking. They start evaluating instead. They start asking questions like, hey, will this actually work? Is this the right person for me? Is now the right time? I wonder what's going on. Because every unanswered question creates distance. And it's not because they lost interest. Because doubt moved in when certainty should have been. So when you don't control the narrative, guys, their doubt does. Because most expert coaches, consultants think the buyer disappeared. But they didn't. Their certainty disappeared instead. Like this right here. Like, oh, certainty's gone. Bam, bam. I don't have it anymore. And that's the difference, guys. Every day your business stays silent, the buyer starts answering their own questions on their own, and that's dangerous. Because when you don't control the narrative, their doubt creeps in, and that's gonna go right here, going all over the place. You see, guys, nobody wakes up and decides, hey man, today I'm gonna spend $5,000. Yeah, someone take my money. I'm glad you take it away and spend it. But
Shut up and take my money!
that decision is built over time from every email, every case study sent, every video, and every interaction. So this is adding another layer of confidence. But if nothing happens, all the certainty is gonna die out. But all that decision is built over time, layer by layer, touch by touch. And this is what I call the certainty ascension model. Attention starts it, authority builds it, trust sustains it, and certainty definitely closes it. So every asset in your business should move the buyer from one stage to another, guys. If it doesn't, it's just a waste of noise. You see, professionals don't ask, hey, how do I close harder? They ask, where is the certainty between breaking down? Because every stage should answer the next question. Because every email should remove another question, and every case study should reduce another fear, and every authority asset should increase another layer of confidence. And if certainty isn't growing, the sell isn't going to progressing through over to this stage over here. Here's the thing, questions don't kill sales, unanswered questions do. And the expert coaches or consultant who answers the buyer's questions first usually wins the business. And it's not because they're louder, it's because they remove uncertainty faster. But having unanswered questions do, that's the certainty decay curve in action. So without a system answering the questions that arise, doubt was gonna win by default. And doubt is patient. It'll wait as long as it takes for you to stop showing up. Now we move to the authority gap, where it goes from lead, authority asset, builds the trust, and then books the call. Because having an authority asset reframes the problem, explains your method, demonstrates your expertise, it builds a lot of certainty and answers a lot of objections up front. And that's why every expert, coach, consultant, or service provider needs an authority asset. And not having another post that just disappears in the next 24 hours, and not another PDF that just gets downloaded, never opened, and just collects dust. Like an actual real authority asset, like a short book, like I have right here, or creating a workshop, or having a framework that's being displayed so that they can consume, or having a case study. Because this is something that continues the conversation even when you're not there, guys. Because trust shouldn't stop building just because you just logged off. How? Because the best consultants don't just rely on one-on-one conversation. They build assets that keep selling while you sleep. You're gonna be chilling like this guy. You see, most experts just try to build authority inside the sales call. That's the freaking wrong place. So by the time someone books a call with you, they should be asking, hey, well, exactly what do you do? How is this different? Why should I trust you? So here's the thing. If those questions show up on the call, your system fell before the conversation ever started. Be like, Fry, why should I even trust this guy or give him my money? You see, an authority asset turns that repeated explanation into an infrastructure. So every week a consultant explains their methodology, their philosophy, why they're different, or how the process works over and over again. They can't scale like that because professionals don't scale by repeating themselves. Again, that authority asset turns that repeated explanation into an infrastructure instead. Like this micro offer blueprint right here. It's all in one system in an infrastructure that's going them automatically. You see, most people think that content creates clients. It doesn't. Authority creates clients instead. Content is just simply a vehicle, guys. You see, a random content post gets attention, but it's an authority asset that changes the belief. Like bam, right here, belief change. And it's belief that creates the buying decisions, and that's the economic, guys. So if every prospect needs you to personally understand your value, you guys don't own a client acquisition system. You just own another job. An asset should do all the explaining so you don't have to. And authority isn't something you can claim, guys. It's something that your assets demonstrate. So you don't say an expert, you build something that demonstrates it. So when someone wants to spend 30 minutes learning how to think, the whole sales call changes completely. Now you're no longer introducing yourself. You're now continuing the conversation that already started. And that's when high-ticket consulting becomes predictable. Bam, money in the bank because you know it's gonna come in. And now we move to an authority progression system. This is the customer journey. The lead books, and then goes to the email, gets some case study to reduce risk, then gets the video to demonstrate their expertise, and then the strategy call to confirm it. And you notice what we didn't do, right? We didn't immediately push for the freaking calendar. And instead, we build trust first, because every step exists for one reason: to move the buyer one closer to certainty. Because every touch point should answer another question, removing another objection, building another layer of freaking confidence. So by the time someone reaches your counter, they should already understand. They should already understand your problem, your methodology, why your approach is different, and why they are talking to you. So the whole call should confirm what they already believe in, not convince them of something new. You see, most experts and consultants are just trying to compress the entire buyer journey into one giant Zoom call. That's freaking exhausting for you and the prospect, because you're just trying to educate, build trust, answer objections, and create urgency, and close all of this in 45 minutes, because your funnel should be doing 80% of the work before the meeting ever starts. Like we have this workflow going on right here. Remember, nobody jumps from, hey, I just found this person, I'm wiring them $10,000, here you go, take my free money. They need progression instead, because there are stages. It goes from attention, understanding, creating the belief, having the certainty, and making the decision. So your session should be moving someone through every one of these stages, and not hope that they get there on their own. Because professionals don't ask prospects to make giant leaps. They create small commitments instead. From read this, watch this, understand this, and apply this. So every yes builds momentum to the next one, and that's how trust compounds, and that's how certainty grows, one step at a time. Again, if every sales call starts with, so exactly do you do, your funnel freaking failed, because your marketing should have answered all those questions long before they ever reach your calendar. The call shouldn't be an introduction, it should be a confirmation. Again, the purpose of the marketing isn't to book a call, it's to prepare someone for the call. So if your marketing does the job, the call becomes effortless. You're no longer persuading, but you're confirming. Because the best sales call don't create trust. You reveal the trust your system you already built. And that's why they feel effortless, because you're no longer persuading. You're just confirming what your assets already accomplished. So how many people are sitting inside your CRM right now who genuinely interested, but you simply just lost momentum? And what will happen if instead of chasing new leads, you build a system that kept existing leads moving forward? If you feel like help building the system, go ahead and book a free strategy call below. And we'll map out exactly where your leads are cooling off and how to fix it. Okay, and now we move to the silent selling system, where it goes from attention, authority, trust, certainty, decision, and then the client. You see, most consultants think the sales call is where the selling happens. For me, I don't. I think all the sales call is where all the decision gets confirmed. Because if you've done everything correctly before the meeting, the prospect should be asking, hey man, what do you do? They should be already asking, alright man, how do we work together? That's a completely different conversation. You see, professionals win the sell before the calendar invite is ever accepted. So if you're constantly explaining, justifying, handling all the same objections, rebuilding trust from every scratch, from every single meeting you guys are doing, your sales process isn't broken. broken your marketing is. Because marketing should create the belief, and sales should simplify organizing the decision. Then bam, log into the calendar. Remember, professionals don't build business around conversations. They build businesses around assets. Because assets create conversations, and conversations create clients. That's leverage. Because the moment your expertise exists outside your calendar, that's when your business starts compounding. Like right here, we have our authority assets doing all the work for you. And the highest ROI asset in your business is another ad, it is another funnel, and it's not another sales script. It's a trust building asset that keeps selling while you're asleep. That's real leverage, and this is the real economics. And that's why I call it silent selling. You're not convincing people, you're conditioning certainty instead. You're not pushing people, you're guiding them instead. You're not chasing buyers, you're building an environment where the right buyers convince themselves instead. So here the authority becomes trust becomes a certainty becomes action, and the call simply confirms what your system already accomplished. So if your sales call has to create trust, you guys are already behind and fucking up. But if your market already created trust, now the sales becomes a formality, and that's the silent selling system in action. Because marketing does all the heavy lifting, and the call just collects the decision. Because selling harder isn't the answer, guys. Building a better trust system is. Because the businesses that grow the fastest aren't always the loudest, guys. They're the ones that make the buying feel inevitable. Alright, now we move to the silent selling checklist. Starts with an authority asset, then we have our email sequence, have the case studies installed, then we have our educational content, our follow-up system, then the strategy call, and now the client where they pay us money. Again, if your leads are going cold, don't immediately need that you guys need to get buy or get more traffic. Just ask yourself this one question: what happens after someone raises their hand? And don't ask, how do I get more leads? Ask yourself, what happens to all the leads I already have? Before you ever spend another dollar on ads, before you hire another appointment setter, before you start posting more content, ask yourself this question: what happens after someone raises their hand? Because this is where more business will win or lose. Yeah, like if someone downloads your guide, then what? Who watches your video? Then what? This is your wishful thinking. Oh, they'll get the guide, webinar, then get one email, then hopefully they'll book a call. That's the wrong approach. But with the right approach and the right nurturing system, that's when we can send multiple follow-up emails, we'll send bonus guides and videos, invite to a special offer like a webinar to pre-sell them. Now we build the trust and the relationship, then the book the discovery call, and then they're gonna purchase your offer. That's what a real authority infrastructure looks like. No more posting content, no more doing more hustle, no more selling, but a system that have every asset moves the buyer one step closer to certainty. Because that's the real job of marketing. It's not generating attention, but it's generating more confidence instilled in them. So ask yourself if you're running your launching campaign. Do I have an authority asset in place? Do I have an email sequence? Am I answering objections for the call? Do I have the case studies? Am I publishing educational content to build certainty? Do I have a follow-up system? And does the strategy call feel like confirmation or instead of a presentation? Remember, if you're still doing all the convincing, your assets aren't doing enough teaching. You're just gonna be like, this guy, oh, what happened? And the lead will just ignore you. Again, the businesses that scale aren't the ones with the most leads. They're the one who has the best systems for turning attention to trust, and trust into certainty, and certainty into clients. Bam, bam, happy face, money in the bank, show me what you drank. So if you're generating leads but too many of them disappear before becoming clients, the solution isn't probably another marketing channel. It's a better lead warming system. So if you like building your authority asset, your book to call system, or your lead warming system, go ahead and book a free one-on-one strategy call in the link below. We'll map out your client journey, identify where trust is breaking down, and build a system that turns more of your existing leads into qualified clients. Alright, I'll see you next video. Jeremy out.